Hello, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made that robot in Lake Effect. First, I found a good base footage of a video in Pixabay, which is a really good website. And then I did some camera alignment in FSpy, and I have some tutorials linked below for that. And then after that, I did most of the 3D stuff, which is just 3D objects and render passes and all that. First, I recreated the geometry in 3D and projection mapped the texture onto that geometry so I can get accurate indirect lighting. And then I just modeled a simple boat. I just projected the texture of a boat on it, and it looks okay because it's in the background. I bet you probably didn't notice that the head is separated. And then I got an amazing human mech model, this sort of robot thing from Sketchfab, and the Boston Dynamics robot from Sketchfab, the really good barrier photo scan from Megascans, and the bench from Megascans. Megascans is an awesome website for scans. And then here's the shadow view layer. So the last view layer that we viewed is the main object view layer, which is where all our objects are, without any of the shadows. This is the shadow view layer, where there's only the shadows casted by our objects view layer. This is the glossy indirect reflection view layer. In this view layer, we captured the reflection of the boat. See, the funny thing is I don't usually do this, like rendering them all on separate passes, but this time I wanted to try it out in Davinci. So this is the object view layer, this is the shadow view layer, this is inverted so you can actually see it in the video editor and in the export. This is the reflection view layer, and now we're going to composite all of this in Fusion and Davinci. So first of all, I added the black bar on top of my clip in Davinci, so I can get a nice 21:9 aspect ratio. And then after that, what I did in Davinci was go to Fusion and start compositing. This is where most of the things that I wanted to practice came. So in Fusion, I brought in all those separate render passes that I rendered overnight. It actually took more than one night. I rendered at 300 samples and 4K. This is the shadow view layer, the main object view layer, and the reflection view layer. This is the import base footage from Pixabay, and I mixed them together, and I did a color curves node just in case I wanted to tweak the color a little bit, but I didn't. And then I added the main object. I took the color with the brightness and contrast node, blurred it, sharpened it, and then put it in with the footage and the shadow. And then for the reflection, I added a brightness and contrast node, so I can bring the brightness down so the reflection isn't as strong on the water, because it was way too strong out by default, and I clicked clip black to make sure it doesn't dim the whole footage. Merged it together, and I got a pretty accurate reflection. And then I sharpened it and added some film grain. As you can see, film grain adds realism to everything. Film grain just adds those tiny little grainy noise details. So if I bring the strength up, you'll really see what I mean by film grain. But I just brought it down to a really low level to get some really cool, realistic little noise effects. And then I exported it all out. But before I export it, there's one more important step, which is color grading. Color grading in Davinci Resolve is awesome. It's the best color grader ever. But I'm not a colorist, so I just threw in a LUT that looked pretty good, and some did minor tweaking in the color curves. The LUT was way too dark by default, and the LUT is actually a LUT that I downloaded from the internet called the King Standard. It's I have a special LUT pack. I tweaked it a little bit with the color curves and made it brighter. And then I added a vignette and camera shake effect on top of it in normal Davinci Resolve edit page. I added the black bars, and I just rendered it out to get the final result.